Greetings! It's Fisher P here on my home server, looking at the pride of my build thus far. After doing things the hard way, I'm going to be generating a whole lot of Buildcraft megajoules. And I'm going to be doing this using a tree farm and a biofuel generator setup. This generator setup, this whole system is going to be processing all of the outputs of the tree farm, and hopefully nothing will be thrown away, and we'll have a whole lot of stuff recycled or used in some way. So, further ado, let's have a look at the basic overview of the setup. We have a tree farm, which is the Forestry 2.02 version. That provides saplings through to a biomass production facility here that incorporates apple juice, which is the product of squeezing the apples. We're using the mulch that's the byproduct of squeezing apples into the biomass production as well. That feeds into the biofuel production, which then in turn feeds into the engine setup. Now this engine setup is primarily at the moment just to run this, but will be expanded to use the biomass for ore production, for pulverizers and all sorts of smelters and Buildcraft engines, or Buildcraft machines. So we also have, as an output of the tree farm, we have the output of sand, which goes into that area, and charcoal, which also feeds into this area. This area in here is for the production of gunpowder, which I can either smelt into sulfur for aluminium torches, or I can use as TNT for industrial TNT to compress fuel, all sorts of other dusts and stuff like that. One of the byproducts of this system as well is flint dust, which I can produce silicon from for various industrial craft, solar panels, etc. Excess charcoal is going to be used in this system here for the production of industrial craft EU power. So I'm also using to power the control system, I'm using Redpower 2 power. What is that? It's I can't remember. A blue alloy or bluetricity, that's what it is. Which I've got a few wind turbines up there to power batteries and various bits and bobs. So let's have a closer view at the tree farm. The tree farm is a managed Forestry 2 tree farm, like I mentioned. It's being fed dirt and fertilizer through Redpower pneumatic pipes into a Redpower manager, feeding and keeping stocked the hopper that you see on top. So here we have the farm inputs that we require are water, fertilizer, dirt. The apple oak saplings are self-produced, and as you saw, some of them disappeared and then managed to reappear as the leaves decomposed. So as output we have log, we have sand, we have apples, we have leftover saplings. Okay. So down here we have the input chests of fertilizer dirt. These will eventually be connected to my inventory sorting system, which will keep these stocked up with the required items. We have the water input there. The output of the farm gets sucked into this hopper, which then gets put through this sorting machine. This sorting machine obviously then sends the marked items. The green goes into this biomass production facility, which uses it as input apples and saplings. So currently, and it may be expanded, but currently we're using 2 fermenters, which are being stocked by way of hoppers, managers, and hoppers and managers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 managers here to keep these items stocked. Obviously, power for the managers comes from this electricity here. So we have down here the squeezer. Let me see if I can find it. Here's the squeezer. Produces apple juice. Apple juice then gets sent through here gets piped into our fermenter. I've only piped up 1 fermenter with the apple juice because really there is not a whole lot. There's not enough for 2 fermenters. So the fermenter that we have at the back is just fed with water. So obviously, if you don't know, the inputs for the fermenters are required a water source, either water or apple juice, or there's a few other items, a few other types of fluids that can go in here. But since water is easy to get from these aqueous accumulators, very simple solution there. The output, of course, goes to here, which gets fed up into this big tank. I've got the big tank for the biomass, because biomass to biofuel production requires more mass for the same amount of biofuel. So these tanks, this is a 8 by 8 by 8 tank, hold up to 6 million millibuckets. And then we have, glitching out, we have the iron tank for the biofuel, which holds 2.8 million. Biofuel then gets, the biomass gets then piped to these 4 stills that we have here. 1, 2, I have 4 stills because that's keeps up